Hey there. I'm at work right now, just taking care of the plants. I'm a farmer, and I've been in the farming ethos for a while, and I'm just cleaning up some others right now. But I didn't want to talk about the plants, at least today. I watched another YouTube video from another small YouTuber who was talking about dying to, well, I'm not saying it exactly correct, but dying to the need or of needing to be loved. And I had some things to discuss on that matter, and I'm not like coming against them or challenging them, but I just wanted to be able to iterate and elaborate on their thoughts, and because I have quite a different kind of viewpoint on that. A lot of people approach that kind of stuff like, I finally got liberated from like the need of wanting to be loved, but to me that's like, wow, I finally like mastered a liquid diet, or like it's like not needing to go do some of my favorite hobbies. And so to me it's like, yeah, you don't need to be loved, and you can be kind of like a wizard on a mountain, or like just not needing anyone or anything. But what I wanted to say is that I feel quite the opposite of that. And like I said, I'm not attacking this person, I'm just sharing my nuanced how I perceive it. And I find fascinating other people's perceptions, but it kind of seems like a trendy thing to like, it's like get over the wants and the needs. And so I don't know, I don't really see that as good aesthetic. Like, I'm like, yeah, of course we have an ego, and we have to work with that. And too much ego, where it's like just overboard. But if you don't have any ego, do you have any identity or any personality or uniqueness, or are you just the all and everything? So part of the ego isn't bad, I think. Like, you should actually exercise your personality, who you are. Give yourself space to, it's like, have jive, have like personality, have I don't know, just banter. Like, to be able to joke around, even like play around with your alter ego or whatever. So yeah, what am I trying to say here? So I think it's like the need to be loved is a thing, and it's almost we're in denial if we think we're over that, and it's like we'll always feel the pain of it. But it's like, no, like, that is a beautiful thing. And the fact that we have needs and wants, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, it's cool and trendy, like the aesthetic of the world is to like not need anyone or rely on anyone and be independent. And it's like, yeah, I've lived that life for some years and stuff, but our lives are better when we have good people in them. And community is such a powerful thing. And so it's okay to want to be seen and appreciated and loved. I mean, yeah, there's a point where if you're like, it's like seeking it out obsequiously, then yeah, that's not good taste. I'll agree. Like, if you're going around just being really needy, not the vibe people want to be around. It's kind of a sucking, a pulling of energy that's kind of icky. But I think we should be real with ourselves that, like, yeah, we have a need to be loved, and there's nothing wrong with that. We should actually learn to accept that and learn how to work with our needs. And we do have needs, and it's like we need each other, at least as far as good community. And so it seems like a wise thing to be over, like, not having to, like, need anyone or want anything. I think I'm just kind of saying the same thing at this point. But I don't know, I just want to speak to that because there is so much power in community, and I've learned so much. It's truly like a psychedelic. And if you watch any of my other videos, I go into that and the power of the psychedelic experience and how it can be so paradigm shifting and so impactful. Another thing, like, you think about it, and there are very impactful things that happen to us throughout our lifetime, like big life events, like say your brother being born, or having a kid, or getting married, or having a friend pass away, or doing psychedelics. That yeah, psychedelics are a major game changer and a shift. It's like one of those things, once you do it, there's no going back. It's like in construction. I used to work construction, and we'd have to open a wall sometimes for doing a remodel, and we're like, there's probably going to be rot behind this wall, and once you see it, you can't unsee it, so you have to deal with it. And so it's akin to that. So there are these big life event things that happen. I think about, like, what was one thing that just stayed with me? Like, the first kiss I ever had. It's interesting. I can't remember the feeling, but I can remember the feeling was really good. It's interesting. We can have memories, but our memories don't necessarily, like, we don't remember the feeling, which is why feelings can get lost. And over the years of going through so much pain, heartache, heartbreak, grief, loss, mental health struggles, and toughness, you can kind of lose touch with what it is like to feel good. And then if, like, after, like, years of working on yourself and trying to stay balanced as far as taking care of yourself, and the balance of that, and the balance of being part of the community and helping others, because being a giver also gives, as it's talked about. And I've heard people say, well, it can be, like, selfish to give because you can be doing it for yourself. Yeah, what does it matter? It's like, you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the other people, it works out. It's a win-win. But what was I talking about? Yeah, powerful experiences. Like, it's like the first kiss I ever had. I didn't know what that was like. That just, the hormones, the, like, it feels like a spiritual experience. That's how powerful it is. And so, I'm not saying anyone's undermining that, but these powerful and profound experiences in our lives, they are part of us and shape us. We're made up of everything we know and everything we love, and some other hidden stuff about our identity that maybe we don't understand yet, and it has yet to unfold. Yeah, so anyways, I'll just wrap it up with that. But I have a lot of unconventional opinions and perspectives, I like to say. I don't even know if you'd call it an opinion. I guess a temporary opinion, because they change quite often. I'll say this, and then, gosh, years down the road, I might be like, well, I don't know if that is accurate anymore for me, you know? But it's just the way I understand the world. It's the way I perceive things and how I move through this space. And I've also been working on this thing of not shaming the needs, not like, there's this term, what's it called? Asceticism. It's not aesthetic, it's asceticism. And it is where you basically avoid all forms of pleasure altogether, which is fine. I don't want to knock that. I've actually had a season in my life where I did that. And then inevitably, you actually get a natural high from life, if you want to call it that or recognize it as that or not. But that's a thing. Like either way, you are getting high. It's just there's the natural high, which is more respected or whatever because it's a lot of work to get there. And it seems a lot unfair because some people are at such a mental struggle disadvantage that it's really hard for them to feel good. And when you have so much pain for so long, it's like I've said, like you forget what it feels to feel good and blissful on just like a daily basis, and just like what life can feel like in its best. It's like when you're doing well and you're healthy, at ease. It's like dis-ease is so prevalent, whether it's invisible or visible. There's always someone, even the happy people are struggling with stuff, and we know this. But anyway, there's lots to be said on the subject. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but it's nice having these kind of simple and complex discussions. And there's a lot of discussions around all the duality and being non-dualistic, which I'm still wrapping my head around, and like whatever I'm about to say, it'll probably change here in a little bit. But I don't really like, well, I have a dualistic opinion on duality, which is really funny. I think it's good and bad. I think it's good for us to experience duality, and we are intrinsically polarized. It's like there's man, woman, there's of course now there's the like non-binary and all that, but there's it's almost like in the dark crystal when the skexes were torn asunder by the crystal of truth and turned into two different entities, the mystics and the skexes. Fascinating, beautiful production, by the way, if you haven't seen the latest film on that. I've watched it several times. It's just masterful artistry, in my opinion. But about the dualarity, as I like to call it, it's almost like being non-polarity is almost a form of polarity, though, because then there's being non-polarized and being polarized. It's still duality. It just seems a little inextricable in this time space and what we're experiencing. And polarity isn't bad either. It's just the extremes it comes to in this life are like, I have had enough. We all come to that point in life where like, I have had enough. I have had just about all I can take of whatever pain or thing that just carries on over time. Like I've mentioned in other videos, like, I think the pain can be rather insipid and masochistic, even though it's seen as a noble thing to bootstrap yourself and get through the pain, and you're a stronger person and evolve for it, which, yeah, there's some of that. I'm not denying it, but it gets to a point where it's like, I want to learn other things. There's lots of things to learn, and I want to learn other things. And so there's a lot to be said about polarity, or as I like to call it, dualarity. I love to make up words and stuff. You'll hear more of Deja words. What's language for then to make it up? And yeah, there's a lot of polarity. It doesn't have to be good and bad, but it's this and its opposite. And there's just all kinds of opposites here. There's all kinds of, like, that's what makes contrast, right? But I guess I don't understand non-polarity, maybe. Whenever I watch those videos, I'm like, I'm lost. I don't. And maybe I'll wrap my head around it at some point. But anyways, I should probably focus more on this, and let you have a good day. I'll see you in the next one.